never gonna keep you down. You're still standing strong. Now take that bow. Forever more than just another face in this crowd.
O pregador disse: filho, é o fim dos dias, com sombras rastejando o mundo em chamas. Mas aqui nessa floresta onde minhas raízes são profundas, eu tenho uma vida que o dinheiro não pode comprar, ou manter a risada da minha mulher. Ilumina a noite com nossos filhos perto do fogo, tudo para amanhecer. Nesse batimento cardíaco do país, vamos continuar. Eu aro esses campos sob um céu sem fim, lançando linhas para bagres, fabricamos nosso próprio whisky e dançamos através da névoa para melodias dos dias mais simples de nossos ancestrais. Você não pode nos matar de fome, somos construídos para sobreviver, das colinas da Virgínia Ocidental para onde os sonhos selvagens prosperam. Porque um garoto no campo pode resistir a qualquer tempestade, com um coração tão forte e um amor que nos mantém aquecidos. Nós vamos renascer das cinzas como o sol ao amanhecer. Nesse batimento cardíaco do país, vamos continuar. Então levante seu copo para amigos que se foram muito tempo, para cada lágrima derramada sobre batalhas vencidas, as luzes da cidade brilhantes, as nossas noites de estrada secundária, em cada luta está nossa luz guiar. Certa vez tive um amigo que perseguia sonhos da cidade, mas ele nunca entendeu como a vida real irradia. Ele me enviou suas fotos de pontos turísticos de arranha-céus. Eu mandava histórias para ele em volta das noites de fogueira, mas quando a escuridão veio chamando com sua mão cruel, ele se perdeu longe dessa terra. Oh sim, um menino do campo pode resistir a qualquer tempestade, com um coração tão forte e o amor que nos mantém aquecidos. Nós vamos renascer das cinzas como o sol ao amanhecer. Nesse batimento cardíaco do país, vamos continuar. Então, se você está se sentindo perdido nesse passeio louco, apenas encontre o caminho de casa, onde os verdadeiros corações habitam. Porque em cada risada compartilhada e cada lágrima que choramos, uma alma no campo sempre sobreviverá.
Sob sombras de neon, a noite se inflama, a cor em volta, uma visão emocionante. Guitarra gemem como pontes no escuro, uma sinfonia de trovões está prestes a acender. Se está prestes a acender 50 mil corações batendo como um só, perdido no caos até o sol da manhã. A besta desperta com um rugido primitivo. Nesta tempestade elétrica estamos implorando por mais. Sinta sobrecargar, deixa o explodir. É a sua passada, meia-noite, grite alto. Deixa o metal acender, mais alto do que alto, estamos prontos pra lutar. Isso é heavy metal, cavalgando desespero na linha de uma navalha. Aumente o volume, deixa esse heavy metal brilhar. Jeans apertados e fogo sob seu olhar. É lavado, se meia-noite, grite alto, deixe o metal acender. Mais alto do que alto, estamos prontos pra lutar. Isso é heavy metal, cavalgando o desespero na linha de uma navalha. Aumente o volume, deixe esse heavy metal brilhar. Jeans apertados e fogo sob seu olhar. Ela corta o silêncio como uma chama ardente. Com rebelião de batom e espírito tão livre, ela está com as lendas, ela faz parte da farra. Oh, você pode sentir a raiva, liberte toda a sua dor. É a sua passada, meia-noite, grite alto, deixe o metal acender. Mais alto do que alto, estamos prontos pra lutar. Isso é heavy metal, cavalgando o desespero na linha de uma navalha. Aumente o volume, deixe esse heavy metal brilhar. Nós saímos dos espíritos do inimigo, estamos juntos lado a lado. Através de cada batida do coração e cada grito, vamos perseguir nossos medos, por esse sonho distorcido. Deixe o metal acender, mais alto do que alto, estamos prontos pra lutar. Isso é heavy metal, cavalgando o desespero na linha de uma navalha. Aumente o volume, deixe esse heavy metal brilhar. Ruído de metais pesados ecoando.
Out on the porch with the glass in my hand, I watch the sunset paint this tired land. It used to be hard work brought home the bread. Now folks just sit and let the dreams go dead. Oh, we're drifting away from what's real, lost in the noise of how it feels. What this world needs is a little more grit to stand up tall and fight for it. Too many missing chromosomes can't find their way home, while blue-haired shadows dance in the twilight gloom.
No silêncio da noite, quando as estrelas começam a brilhar, um sussurro na escuridão, como um sonho há muito esquecido. Ele dança através das sombras, suave como o orvalho da manhã. Com cada batimento cardíaco ecoando, não há nada que você possa fazer. O amor, com certeza é algo que ninguém pode explicar. Ele pinta mil cores e tece a alegria e a dor. Ele te eleva aos céus ou te deixa de joelhos. Não há nada que você possa dizer quando o amor o encontra com facilidade. Como um rio correndo selvagem, sob uma lua prateada. O amor é a melodia mais doce e uma melodia dolorida. Isso vai fazer você se sentir invencível ao rasgar seu coração em dois. No entanto, há beleza no caos quando o amor encontra a mim e a você. O amor, com certeza é algo que ninguém pode explicar. Ele pinta mil cores e tece a alegria e a dor. Ele te eleva aos céus ou te deixa de joelhos. Não há nada que você possa dizer quando o amor o encontra com facilidade. Dê tudo que você tem, deixe seu coração ser livre esta noite. Quando essa faísca acende dentro de si uma chama queimando brilhante através de tempestades e dias ensolarados, deixe seu espírito irromper. Você vai descobrir que é verdade, baby, algum dia quando o amor te encontrar. O amor, com certeza é algo que ninguém pode explicar. Ele pinta mil cores e tece a alegria e a dor. Ele te eleva aos céus ou te deixa de joelhos. Não há nada que você possa dizer quando o amor o encontra com facilidade. Portanto, mantenha seu coração bem aberto. Não se intimide com o destino, pois em momentos inesperados existe um vínculo que é realmente ótimo. E você descobrirá que é tão verdade. Apenas espere pelo que acontece. Baby, algum dia quando o amor encontrar, você saberá que é para dois. O amor, com certeza, é algo que ninguém pode explicar. Ele pinta mil cores e tece a alegria e a dor. Ele te eleva aos céus ou te deixa.
Out on the porch with a glass in my hand, I watch the sunset paint this tired land. It used to be hard work brought home the bread. Now folks just sit and let the dreams go dead. Oh, we're drifting away from what's real, lost in the noise of how it feels. What this world needs is a little more grit to stand up tall and fight for it. Too many missing chromosomes can't find their way home, while blue-haired shadows dance in the twilight gloom. Yeah, we're longing for reason in a sea of doubt. Let's bring back the heart, figure it out. Remember when laughter rang loud through these fields? Now we're lost in opinions, like we've got no shields. Folks used to sweat under that old sun's glow. Now they're glued to screens where kindness won't grow. Oh, I'm yearning for days when truth was gold, not wrapped in confusion or stories we told. What this world needs is a little more grit to stand up tall and fight for it. Too many missing chromosomes can't find their way home, while blue-haired shadows dance in the twilight gloom. Yeah, we're longing for reason in a sea of doubt. Let's bring back the heart and figure it out. Your mask and step into light. We all bleed red when we fight for what's right. Let's build bridges instead of walls, find common ground where love never falls. What this world needs is a little more grit to stand up tall and fight for it. Too many missing chromosomes can't find their way home, while blue-haired shadows dance in the twilight gloom. Yeah, we're longing for reason in a sea of doubt. Let's bring back the heart and figure it out. So raise your voice if you feel like I do. Together we'll make our dreams come true. In every heartbeat lies hope anew. But this world needs stars with me and you. So take off your mask and step into light. We all bleed red when we fight for what's right. Let's build bridges instead of walls, find common ground where love never falls.
What's up? Welcome to another Super Gringo podcast. I might have to be switching these up to once a month again. My wife has a new job working at the school, so might have to switch it up. Got some cold snacks tonight. Last week I didn't partake, but this week I said, eh. So what are we going to talk about tonight? First thing, new book I'm working on right now. It's on teaching karate online. Although I'm not a big fan of teaching online, but living in Brazil, I've gained a little appreciation for it because nobody in their games wants to learn karate. So, and I train 3 days a week. Nobody cares. But the people who are doing it online, for the most part, I've seen a couple good ones. But the people generally who are doing it online right now aren't doing it right. Poor lighting, poor audio, poor just instruction. So I'm putting together, let's put it this way, chapter 2 is 102 pages long, okay? Chapter 3 is like not quite 100, but it's up there. So that's how what goes into doing a good online martial arts program. So I'd like some idea, or people, weigh in. What would you like to see in a martial arts program? I'm not personally going to do it, an online martial arts program. I don't have the space. I don't have the equipment. And get electronics in Brazil, believe it or not, are expensive as hell. Or I wouldn't be using this old ass computer, I'll tell you that. Hold on, gotta do something. Yeah, follow us, subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff. I don't put up a lot of stuff. Well, I do, usually in my, what do you call those, posts? I do a lot of posts. Pictures, videos, and quizzes. I do a lot of quizzes from my books. So, here's a shocker for you. Illegal aliens were getting social security numbers under Biden. Anybody fucking shocked? Because I wasn't. Because I'm an immigrant and I know I have a CPF, which is basically a tax number from Brazil, social security number, tax number. And but I'm a legal immigrant, so that doesn't mean they were getting Social Security. That just means they have a Social Security number that they shouldn't have. Legal immigrants, like who work in America, get a Social Security number because that's how you pay your taxes, by Social Security number. So legal immigrants who have a green card or a work card have a Social Security number for paying taxes. So Musk had a presentation showing how many illegals had Social Security. They're not supposed to have them. But Musk, actually his assertion, Musk made the assertion that it's a massive financial incentive for people to come to America. You think because you get welfare if you have a Social Security number, you can get Medicaid if you have a Social Security number, you can get a license if you have a Social Security number. They don't ask for birth certificates and stuff, or green cards if you have those things. They assume you have them if you have a Social Security number, a valid Social Security number. But there was a, I think it's a website, Gracias commented on it, that there's no control over illegal immigrants getting Social Security numbers. They'll get them and sell them too. The loony left, of course, are saying that Musk is misrepresenting, it's a mispresentation of immigrant status and benefits. And of course, the loony left conflate legal and illegal aliens. I don't use the term undocumented immigrants. They're not undocumented. They're illegal aliens. Illegal means against the law. Alien means not of that place. It's a Latin term, which means they're not American and they're here without us saying you can be here. That's illegal. So they can get welfare, they can get a license, they could even vote if they have a license. Figure that one out. See if anybody's in here. Fine. Oh, somebody just dinged in on Facebook. Hold on. We may have a winner here. I might just share this live stream forum. Hold on. Hold on. No. Just some dude going on about, or maybe it was chat. Hold on. Oh, Messenger, sorry, not chat, Messenger. Nope. I did send this link into my family and stuff. But anyway, yes, they have Social Security numbers. Now, I'm not saying they're getting Social Security. I'm just saying they have numbers, which they can get benefits if. Let me get back to. This is my monitor, by the way. How I monitor how the live stream is looking. My phone. I don't have to read comments like Grumpy and Jim do because I have them up here. Drop a comment, and you can also see it on the side of the screen there. Everyone can see your comment, so you can't hide from anybody. Even if I blocked you, they'd see, which I don't normally, because, freedom of speech. Even the stupid stuff is freedom of speech, folks. But on that note, I guess the leftists hate my article. I wrote an article titled How the Left Became So Uneducated but So Totally Indoctrinated. And when I post this article, it's like they use it as a to-do list. They try to prove that they're not indoctrinated by posting the stuff that makes them look indoctrinated and ignorant. For example, if you're calling me a Nazi, yeah, it really doesn't work out because, well, my wife is brown, so yeah, I speak 2 languages too, so, and neither one of them are German. Idiots. Anyway, so they hate that article, and then I post my books with them, and they don't read the books because they can't. 1 in 4 high school graduates today cannot read above a 6th grade level. But we need to keep the Department of Education because, well, if you guys can think of a reason, please let me know. We'll get that done. Leftists are trying to equate the Tesla's terrorism to a boycott, especially on Facebook. I saw some on Threads. I like Threads because you can dictate when and where people can comment. I only have one over there. But they need to remember that it's not their first dance. We've seen this before. The last time they did it, it caused over $2 billion in damage. 25 people were ceased to exist. So, yeah, this is not their first dance. That was mostly peaceful. 25 people ceased to exist. It's mostly peaceful. $2 billion in arson damage. It's mostly peaceful. But you loony leftists are all the way retarded. Sorry, And of course, we have a bunch of people upset or losing their minds over the tariffs. Now, what they're not telling you is they're reciprocal tariffs. So if your country has tariffs on America, you're going to get reciprocal tariffs on your products. For example, Canada, I think he only put 25% on them, but has like a 236 to 250% tariff on milk and cheese. So if tariffs are so bad for the economy, why do 170 other countries have tariffs on American products? Germany doesn't use tariffs, they use laws, legislation. For example, cars. Chevy, like let's say Chevy, it was an example used to me earlier. Let's say Chevy wanted to sell a car in Germany, which they make better cars, but I have a Volkswagen myself. I have a Nazi mobile. And it's literally a Nazi mobile. Volkswagens were Nazi mobiles. They were actually a concept of the Führer. But anyway, they will use legislation like if you want to sell a Chevy in Brazil, or not Brazil, I live in Brazil, Germany, they'll say that bumper or that tire or whatever part of the car does not fit within their regulations. So it's you either pay a fee or you have to use their tires, whatever. You will not see a Chevy in Germany, ever. You won't see an American car in China. You won't see an American car. They build American cars here in Brazil because it's cheaper, because they tariff everything built outside of Brazil. Tariffs, folks. So it's reciprocity. You drop the tariffs, we drop the tariffs. Vietnam has already called Trump. I don't know what we would buy from Vietnam. Rice, maybe? I don't know. They make a lot of rice there, I guess. And I think they do buy motorcycles, Hondas. Brazil, outside of Japan, is the largest, not even Japan. They build more Honda motorcycles than Japan. So, yeah, reciprocity. And I'll get to some of the impact later because everybody's freaking the fuck out who are like investment ignorant. But did everyone celebrate Trans Visibility Day on March 31st? Who here, like myself, believes it should be moved to April 1st? I personally think it should be moved to April Fool's Day. I'm a woman, but you have a dick. April Fools. There you go. Sorry, I can't pretend with you people. Sorry. Go get yourself a copy of the DSM-5. Diagnostic service, something to do with psychology and diagnostic. Sane people don't need to be diagnosed. Yeah. I think everybody has a little mental illness, but it's not to the point where we're chopping shit off our bodies. If, and calling ourselves something we're not. Another thing the left gets up is me sharing my books on their sites. They always come back with, why do you share your books here? We're not going to read them. We know you don't read. Or I wouldn't be sharing them here because I just share them to make you look stupid. Because all they ever post is memes and insults. I have books. But they will call me dumb. And now, with me doing that, now they're coming over on my book videos and posting stupid shit. Like, I'm a Nazi. I'm lying. About books they've never read. I even made them audiobooks just because I know how learning disabled they are. 1 in 4 people cannot read above, and these are high school graduates, cannot read above a 6th grade level. But they can tell you what their made up fucking pronouns are. And also that white people are racist, even if they don't appear racist. Unconscious bias. You're racist even if, you're not racist because, it's unconscious. Yeah, and you're an unconscious fucking, well, you're a conscious fucking idiot. Let me tell you the true minority in America. Smart people. People who can read a book, but also have common sense. Like, because you have people who are really book smart, and they can regurgitate shit from books, but they can't find their ass with they couldn't find their ass with a map. And then you have the people that don't have either. They're just plain fucking stupid. Those are the people that the loony left, the higher ups in the loony left hierarchy, play to. The people that can't do either. The dumbasses. Which is why my books piss them off. Let me ask you something. Richard Reich is a PhD he's an economist. Why does he use fucking memes to talk to his followers? Because even he knows they're fucking idiots. He's just manipulating them. And you can't talk like you're intelligent to these people. That's why they don't like me. I point that out. I even wrote, just to show you that I'm not against immigration. I'm all for legal immigration. So I wrote a book for Brazilians who want to move to America legally. And what I talk about the laws, I talk about our customs, and I talk about traditions like Christmas, Thanksgiving. Why do we do Thanksgiving? Loony left don't call it Thanksgiving. They call it, what, Indigenous Day now? Right? By the way, the Native Americans weren't indigenous either. They came from fucking Asia. Actually, I think some of them might have come from South America. They look, my wife looked, I could take her to a reservation now, and if she spoke fluent English with no accent, they wouldn't know. So I think they're, but that's just me being in South America. Brazilians don't like to read either, so I don't sell a lot of those. And they have audiobooks too. I made audiobooks in Portuguese, which I had my wife listen to. I was like, is Portuguese good? And she's like, yeah, except for the date. I guess the date's wrong. And I think I brought this up. The left can't figure out why a PhD like Robert Reich shares memes instead of facts. Well, because the loony left is stupid, so he has to use short words. And two, there are no facts to support his arguments, and the more you make stuff up, the thinner the argument gets. Obviously, because I'm going against the PhD with my books, and he can't counter my books. They can't counter my books except to call names and babble about. If I hear Nazi one more time, my grandmother was not German. Yeah, I had two grandfathers, both of them Mohawk Indian. They left a reservation to go fight World War II. One of them married a French woman, one married a German woman. Both my grandmothers. Weird. The German grandmother was a bitch, and the French grandmother was cool as shit. So, not dissing my grandmothers at all. I still have respect, but yeah. I'm gonna go get another cold snack here. Maybe this will buffer up, but I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Got a cold snack. Washed my hands after, but want an opinion on an idea. I have a lot of books out there on the founding, the Federalist Papers, the left and their effect on the Constitution, and I'm thinking about doing classes, putting together a curriculum and just doing classes on my books with quizzes. And if you go over to my posts, I've been putting up little quizzes from my books. I think the last one was on, today's was on, can't remember what yesterday's was on freedom of speech, and nobody got that right. The drift towards authoritarianism for the left on freedom of speech, which Robert Reich is another one who literally called for Elon Musk to be arrested for putting out false information or misinformation. Well, who says it's misinformation? Robert Reich? Because 99% of what he puts up on his YouTube posts is misinformation. It's propaganda. Joseph Goebbels would be in awe. Hold on, another Facebook, which might be worthy of some airtime here. I don't know. Hold on. Oh, no, just Mike. Liberals on their 8th booster right before they key a Tesla. Yeah, that's funny stuff. Anyway, yeah, I posted that. But yeah, it's just a boycott. Keying a Tesla is just a boycott. Key my Tesla, I'll boycott all over your face with my fist. But I don't have a Tesla because, well, I live in Brazil and, well, they don't have charging stations here. I'm not sure they could put, well, I've seen like 3 in all of the whole country. That's when I lived in not Paliosa, Santa Catarina on the island. Florianopolis. I lived there, and they had like 3 stations on the whole island. Now, I need to say this. I don't use videos on here anymore because I'm tired of getting hit with copyrights. But, question, have you guys seen the video of Officer Tatum, which I think he was a cop. He was an actual cop. And his Turning Point USA, the Antifa showing up, where they were dressed like Antifa, black masks, attacking them. And then the police just standing there. I got to tell you, after watching the video, you can find it on YouTube. It may be time that you start taking care of yourself. You need to understand your rights and defend them, because the government, although it's their job, isn't going to defend your rights. You have the right to 3 things: life, liberty, and property, which falls into the right to the pursuit of happiness. A lot of you dumb fucks forget the word pursuit. You just think you should get happiness. I'll give you happiness. I haven't hit you in the face today. You happy? There you go. Y'all need to read my books on the founding, and you figure out John Locke. Or read John Locke if you don't want to read my books. Go read John Locke. Go read Thomas Jefferson. Go read the Federalist Papers. I just read them and put them in essays. What I got out of them. Those are the ones I want to do classes on. My essays on the Federalist Papers. How the left went from, because we would have all been liberals, classic liberals. I'm a classic liberal. When I say classic liberal, I mean from the founding liberal. Small government, personal rights, period. Life, liberty, property. I am a liberal. So if you read my books on the founding and on how the left has basically just destroyed that, you'll figure it out and figure out that you're probably a liberal too. Anyway, I guess Timmy Tampon, is running his face again to Elon Musk. I think it was Elon Musk because I saw like who's that? Kane, Jacobson. Commenting on it that he'd take him on. I'd love to see him choke slam Tampon Tim, but I figured out an easier way to get rid of him. Just tell Tampon Tim that Pete Hegseth is recalling all retired master sergeants and deploying them to Ukraine. He'll disappear. He don't want to be deployed. He didn't want to be deployed to Iraq. I made it out. From Italy. I hope so. We haven't been to war with Italy since 1942. There, Sparky. Need a sip. Now I share these with the link to leftists too, but they won't comment. I'll get once in a while. I'll get a comment after, after I won't get a notification, so now I have to go back and look. A lot of them get held because they seem to use a lot of foul language. And Nazi, the word Nazi gets your comment held too, because, well, they're bad people. So, yeah. Which is funny because you're actually using brown shirt techniques or tactics and ideologies. Joseph Goebbels would be in awe. All right. Another thing, over on my Facebook page, I found a way, which is cool, to put my notes up where I can see them now. I used to do these word for word, but now I have outlines, and I've learned how to use the same outline generator that news agencies use. I thought about doing a teletype over there, but if people weigh in, I want to be able to just stop and comment, So outlines are the best way to go, and I know enough that if I see a term as something I read already, I could just, like today, you get there was a senator on my Democrat senator on Facebook. I don't know if he's running or what, posting fake unemployment numbers, saying, "Oh my God, the economy is crashing because we have, I think it was 250,000 more people out of work." What he didn't tell people was they were government layoffs. They were the people that Doge and Trump got rid of out of the government because they couldn't fucking justify their job. So guess what we did? They're going to file for unemployment. Basically, all they did was trade one government program to another, but unemployment pays less. So Doge and Donald Trump is still saving us money. Let me explain something to you fucking idiots. Government employees don't make a profit. They're not paying. They will tax government. Let me explain something when I was in the military. You guys would pay military people with your taxes. You pay military. You keep a military using your tax dollars because you don't want to go fight yourself. Well, fine. But then they would tax our military pay. So basically they were taxing, we were literally almost paying for ourselves. Because if you're taxing us and then using tax monies to pay us, wouldn't that be us paying ourselves? Right? But anyway, we're still saving money. Unemployment pays less than, and I guess in one agency, I think it was, what was it, EPA or FDA? I can't remember. There were like 40,000 IT people. We have IT people here too. One dude sitting in a shop I take my laptop to, and he fucking fixes it. Not even in one day. Yeah. So you mean to tell me in a country with the education level 79th in the world, we can get better IT people? No, what it is people, if you want to get a government job, just make up another piece of paper. You need this piece of paper. Well, we need to create an agency to handle that piece of paper. Now we need to make a piece of paper to, make that agency. So we're going to need an agency to oversee that agency. That's how the bureaucracy works. Invented by the fourth branch of government, the deep state, the bureaucracy. Who the fuck do they answer to? That's in one of my books. When you loony leftists can answer that question, who do they answer to? Did we elect any of them? No. Then you'll figure out how badly the Democrats are fucking you. Oh, another one I saw today on Facebook was the dollar is losing value. Keep in mind, I exchange dollars weekly. No. Now, the dollar is currently at 581 reals. Last week it was like 560. So it's basically another populist bomb to make the uneducated scared. Now, a populist bomb is basically people who don't know any better listening to the Democrats, and when the Democrats tell them, oh my God, the Republicans are holding you down. The Republicans, I'll get to that later, but we'll figure. That's all it was another populist bomb. I think it was another senator. I don't know why I'm getting Democrats sent, other than maybe I commented on their stuff calling them liars, straight up liars. Yes, I comment on their stuff. You're a liar. Straight up. I don't even. Holy shit. Hold on. Yep, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and send me stuff, like stuff you want to know about. I do a lot of research. Grumpy Farmer will tell you I researched my because I'm constantly writing. Mainly because, well, at 56, almost 57, when you guys all die, you're just going to leave us foul smell. When I die, there's going to be books with my name on it with some intellectual shit written in it, which I would rather be known for being intellectual than just not being known. Matter of fact, I just finished a book on the political history of Brazil, which I found interesting because of we went through the history, like everybody thinks America is old. It's not. Brazil is older. From the Portuguese colonization up until, and this part was interesting to me, researching it, the 1964 CIA trained and funded military coup, which from 1964, after it was successful, they were disappearing people until 1985. But nobody had a problem with that. But we invaded Iraq because, Saddam Hussein was horrible to his people. And he had chemical, which he did have weapons of he did have chemical, not mixed. They weren't mixed. But you know why you don't hear about them? The lettering on the barrels. Yeah, they were from our allies in Afghanistan. So, yeah. He had them. They weren't mixed. And thank God those fucking idiots. They tried to use the chlorine out of one of the drums. which didn't work out well because chlorine isn't going to in an open air in an open area. Yes, it will hurt your lungs, but it won't kill you. Chlorine sucks the oxygen out of the air, and you need a certain parts per million. I used to work in a company that made what the hell did we make? That we used chlorine. Oh, Buckme mirrors. We made television screens. So we worked with a lot of caustic shit. And they actually had special alarms and shit because the parts per million out of a tanker filled with chlorine would just fuck up the whole area. The parts per million were sufficient to suck the air out, suck the oxygen out of the air. You know, the type where you're bleeding out your mouth and your eyes and nose and fucking dying. Yeah, that's the. But yeah, he had them. But so we don't have a problem with bad government as long as they're bad governments that we install. Oh, happened again today, so obviously I wrote it down. Why does the left assume you're Christian when you say common sense things? Like, I don't know, don't get pregnant if you don't want the kid. I wouldn't say I'm anti-abortion, but I'm definitely in favor of a heartbeat bill. Because if you're going to be dead when you don't have a heartbeat, you should be alive when you have one, right? I think we should have just legal standards. Where, unlike like Minnesota, where you can show up while you're in fucking labor and they'll do a fucking abortion. Thanks, Timmy Tampon. Man, if there's ever a fucking argument for abortion, it's your face. But saying common sense things like grooming and castrating kids is wrong. That's most of us consider these common sense things to say, but the loony left, well, you Christians are just crazy. How do you know I'm fucking Christian? Maybe I'm Muslim. Maybe I'm Hindu. Maybe I'm Buddhist. Maybe you're just a fucking idiot. How about that? It's called common sense. Like, as far as abortion, I don't think we should be. Abortion is a symptom, right, of a problem. The problem is you're too stupid to fucking control your genitalia. I think we should be getting rid of the problem. That would weed out pretty much about 80% of the fucking uneducated fucking retards that we have in the country. How long have I been on? I ain't been on that long. Anybody got anything? Because I got stuff, but... I'd prefer to talk to people than... Alright. This morning, of course, today, what was it? Trump destroyed $6 trillion in the stock market. No, he didn't. Let me explain how the stock market works, you fucking idiots. Oh, not you guys that follow me that know, but the leftists, definitely the leftists don't understand this because they don't have any stock because, well, you can't really buy stock when you're, with a gender studies degree serving coffee. But when you buy stock, right, you hold on to it. As long as you hold on to that stock and don't sell it at a loss, you haven't lost any money. Your money is still in that stock. And markets always, pretty much always come back. Always. And sometimes big time. You just have to be patient and dividends are the problem. It's not the stock, it's the dividends. That's why you invest in 401ks, they invest in stock for the dividends. You're still going to get dividends, it's just because you're making dividends on the profit the company makes. Right now, if you're not retarded, you're buying more stock because they're cheaper. Problem is the media and social influencers are trying to scare you because it's Trump. That's all. It's Trump. And they know you don't understand how the stock market works. Right now, I'd be buying my ass off because it's going to come back. You don't sell stock when there's a downturn. You hold on to it. Look at, when was he? 98? Something like that. The people that didn't sell off their stock during that made a fortune when it came back. You just need to not be afraid. Well, first, don't listen to Democrats because they only make their wealth working for the government. Tell me one Democrat that did not make their wealth working for the government. Robert Reich. He worked for the government. He's worth $4 million. It's called insider trading, folks. It's all about, well, they want you scared and poor, the Democrats, because rich people, they're the party of billionaires. But they need your vote because there's only so many billionaires. And they should be asking themselves, why billionaire? Like Elon Musk was a Democrat. He actually voted for Joe Biden. What made him change his mind? What did you people do? You people aren't asking yourself, are you looking to lose 2028? Nobody's asking themselves. They're doubling down on stupid is what they're doing. But yeah, hold on to your stock. It's going to come back, especially when companies start moving back here. If you own stock in like I own stock in GE, sold it off, but to buy a house that I don't have anymore. But don't listen to Democrats when it comes to the economy. Those are the same idiots that said Biden's economy was booming at 8% inflation. Well, inflation, who cares, whatever. It's called the populist bomb. They want you scared. Republicans are going to cut your Social Security. Been saying it ever since Social Security existed. Hasn't happened yet. Republicans are going to cut Medicare. Again, been saying it every election cycle. They say it. Doesn't happen. They have cut bureaucratic idiots who work there, who just shouldn't have been working there. You need to get educated on how the stock market works. I have stock. I have no idea where it is. When I left the United States, I didn't bring shit with me, so I don't have paperwork, nothing. But you need to get financially literate, figure out how the stock market works, and then you can invest and figure out when to sell and not to sell. Long-term investments have lower interest rate. It's like a savings account. Savings account have low risk, so they have a lower interest rate. So you won't get paid as much. But you get in the stock market, the higher the potential for profit, the higher the risk. It's not a bank account. I guess China just imposed 34% tariffs on American goods. So, which they've had tariffs on us for decades. So I'm trying to figure out 34%. They were 25. They kicked them up to 24 or 34. We've always had tariffs on China. I'm trying to figure out how this is anything different. But Walmart's just going to have to pay more. You're not going to be able to get the phony cheese for like $1 anymore. Potential price increases for consumers. Yeah, those Nike's prices are about to go up, you know. They're probably, well, Nike and a lot of these people that have been using slave labor are going to have to move their shit back to the U.S. and start paying real wages. No more child labor and no more fucking sweatshops that you leftists were supporting because, you know, tariffs, oh my god, tariff. Well, Vietnam uses slave labor, so does China, so does every other country. Every communist country uses slave fucking labor and child labor. They have no labor laws. And they'll either relocate their operations back to the United States, or you're going to pay the same price for a pair of sneakers that they pay in China. Reciprocal means if you have tariffs, you're going to get the same tariffs when you import to the United States. Pretty simple. Now, zero tariffs, reciprocal would be zero fucking tariffs. Hear that, Canada? You don't have to buy American cheese. You don't have to buy American milk. Freedom of choice. But you should have the option if you want to. Looks like Nike's going to have to move its plants back to the U.S. Or fucking no more slave labor. You're actually going to have to fucking start paying livable wages to people. Horrible, isn't it? Could move it to countries that are friendly to. No, there aren't any. 170 countries have tariffs on American products. Yeah. So, yeah, no more slave labor. So, that's, I want somebody to come back with something. Especially the loony left. I would love to have them say something. They'll come 3 months after, and after it won't register, and say something. Of course, I just share my books. Well, that's something I should be doing. In the chat is sharing links to my books. Oh. Never mind. Y'all have you're all on my YouTube page, so you know Super Gringo Books. I have my own publishing company. I publish my own books because I come to find out a lot of publishers are leftist, left-leaning, and don't like my content. Weird. Yeah, I should do that a lot more. Let people know that, yeah, you can subscribe and hang out. Oh, hold on. I'm going to try and share this and see if somebody will come over. I would love, my dream is a leftist who's willing to actually be honest. None of them are, ever. But if people don't show up soon, I'll just call it a night and go over and see if I can call people on my call family back home. That's what Saturdays are for, actually, to do this and then call home. Hold on. Do it again. Copy. That's all I want. Sorry about that. I hit Control V or whatever. Control is my for the mic. Anyway, I was talking about a picture book, book of pictures of my life, from not like from being a baby and stuff. I think no, I don't have a picture of me being a baby, thank God. But just pictures that when I left America, I came with nothing. I came with an army duffel bag, a patrol bag, and a guitar, my Ovation. That was all I came to Brazil with. And so none of my military awards, some of them are in there. So yeah, I want to sit down and do like talk about what was going on, if I can remember. People don't think I have a TBI, so I don't remember stuff like very well. That's why I wear the hat. I have a big fucking lump right here from, I don't know what I hit, but yeah, I don't remember shit. Nor do I, some of it I wish, the stuff I do remember sometimes I don't want to remember. But oh, the wife's hiding. Like, what? Huh? There's nobody in there, so I bet you if you came over here in that dress, more people would show up. But por favor. But yeah, my wife's over there hiding in the doorway. But might go call my family here shortly. I think I covered everything I wanted to, but I was hoping somebody would show up and give us more topics to discuss. But really, we know about Social Security thievery. We know about it. We've always known about it. The left just don't want you to talk about it. Where is that? Are you getting it yet? Oh, there we go.
Are you fucking getting it yet?
Yeah. Are you getting it yet? They don't want you to think about it or talk about it because, they're the ones doing it. They want them here for the census so they get more representatives in, I think it's the Senate? Well, in Congress. What'd you say, Congress?
You need one beer?
Over together. And also, if they're giving them Social Security numbers, they can get ID to vote. They can get driver's licenses. They can get, because they have a Social Security number, everybody assumes they're citizens. My wife's like, yeah, like she even knows what I'm talking about, but she agrees, so I'm good. But I wrote a book about how legal Brazilians legally can come to the U.S., our traditions, our laws, and all that good stuff. I'm all for legal immigration because I'm a legal immigrant. And I help their economy. Well, if you help our economy and help our country, cool. If you're there waving the flag of another country, well, I think it should be perfectly legal to stomp your ass into the ground as an enemy combatant. But I'm weird like that. I would defend Brazil because my family lives here. But I'll defend America too because my family lives there. So I kind of want to buy a Tesla and go back to the States just to see if I can, get someone in the mount and fucking elbow their head through their asshole. And I'm not a jiu-jitsu guy, but I just, I do elbows in karate a lot. Because, there's nothing more satisfying than moving someone's nose from one side of their head to the other. And elbows are really good at doing that. So, but yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna cut this off and go make a call on Facebook and see if I can find someone to talk to. So, peace out, people. Nobody showed up. Nobody wanted to argue. Although the loony left were arguing well enough earlier. And I sent them this link, so cowards. But enjoy, people. I'll let you know what's going on with the live stream. This was planned before I knew my wife had a new job. She's going to be working at the school. Military school at that, but not military, but yeah, my stepdaughter goes there. She calls me uncle because whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna try and make a phone call and talk to the family back home. Hopefully that'll be cool. So peace out, people. I'll talk to you later.
Out on the porch with a glass in my hand, I watch the sunset paint this tired land. It used to be hard work brought home the bread. Now folks just sit and let the dreams go dead. Oh, we're drifting away from what's real, lost in the noise of how it feels. What this world needs is a little more grit to stand up tall and fight for it. Too many missing chromosomes can't find their way home, while blue-haired shadows dance in the twilight gloom. Yeah, we're longing for reason in a sea of doubt. Let's bring back the heart and figure it out. Remember when laughter rang loud through these fields? Now we're lost in opinions like we've got no shields. Folks used to sweat under that old sun's glow. Now they're glued to screens where kindness won't grow. Oh, yearning for days when truth was gold, not wrapped in confusion or stories we told. What this world needs is a little more grit to stand up tall and fight for it. Too many missing chromosomes can't find their way home, while blue-haired shadows dance in the twilight gloom. Yeah, we're longing for reason in a sea of doubt. Let's bring back the heart and figure it out. Your mask and step into light. We all bleed red when we fight for what's right. Let's build bridges instead of walls, find common ground where love never falls. What this world needs is a little more grit to stand up tall and fight for it. Too many missing chromosomes can't find their way home, while blue-haired shadows dance in the twilight gloom. Yeah, we're longing for reason in a sea of doubt. Let's bring back the heart and figure it out. So raise your voice if you feel like I do. Together we'll make our dreams come true. In every heartbeat lies hope anew. But this world needs stars with me and you. So take off your mask and step into light. We all bleed red when we fight for what's right. Let's build bridges instead of walls, find common ground where love never falls.